I got this question recently from one of the parents engaged in our coaching programs. What if my child just doesn't care about consequences? As a clinical psychologist, it's a little hard for me to believe that your child really doesn't care about the consequences, but I think there's 4 possibilities of why they're saying that. All 4 are important. Let's consider all of them.
One possibility for your child acting like they don't care about the consequences is they're trying to get you off course from holding to the consequences.
It's like they're trying to let the air out of your balloon.
Yeah, this is especially true sometimes when you come, you haven't maybe been sticking to your guns with your consequences, and now you're recommitted and you've set up those consequences, and they're trying to see if they can, wait, I don't want mom to have control of this. I'm going to see if I can just show I don't care and set her off course.
So that might come across as, I don't care about that.
I don't care if you take that away.
Or the more common one, whatever.
Don't forget the eye roll. You got it.
I'm not even sure what that means.
Whatever.
They're trying to derail the whole discipline process. That's only a possibility. We've got 3 other possibilities we'll talk about. But if this is what you suspect is going on with your child, I think one of the most powerful things that you can do is call their bluff.
So what do you mean?
So for example, if you're teenager, let's say that you got a 12, 13-year-old.
Okay.
And the consequence that you're going to use is restriction from a video game system. All right? That's a pretty common scenario. And they say, I don't care. I don't care about that game anyway. Or whatever, okay? They're trying to throw you off. Then your response is, oh, good. I was afraid you'd be really upset about it. That makes it easier for me. Okay, you
and
just
then
totally
you follow through, right?
Right, you do not remove the consequence. You call their bluff, and then you're like, oh, good. Oh, good. I was afraid you'd be really upset about it, but this is better.
Yeah.
And then it's back on their shoulders.
And you're not buying into their I don't careness, right?
Right.
You're just going with it.
That's why I called it a bluff. If you're calling their bluff, you're identifying it as, oh, okay. You're saying that for other reasons. And then you move forward at face value. That's how you call the bluff. Here's another possibility. Sometimes kids get into a position where they feel discouraged or helpless.
Right.
Like nothing that they do matters anyway.
And that whatever might be a little whatever, because they feel like maybe they don't have any control at all about any of their outcomes. And this might be a trigger for you to take a good look at your parenting style. Maybe some of the things you've been doing. Have you been following through? Have you been setting clear limits and then sticking to them?
The consistency, like you pointed out, Vicki, this is really important for them to start to understand, the consequences get tied up with the behaviors, I get it. If it's been inconsistent, they might not feel that their behavior even matters. Yep. Maybe it's up to mom's mood. Or
that's a really tricky thing. So that's why you're going to look at your parenting. But there's another really important thing is, have they been getting credit for the good things that they do?
Right. We get into a trap sometimes as parents, especially with our older kids and our teens, of constantly disciplining them. Have you ever felt like that? Like everything that you're doing is correcting their behavior. Well, guess what? They're feeling it too.
Right.
And that's not all that's happening. That's just what gets your attention. It's kind of like pain. I sprained my little finger several months ago, and I remember lying there in bed and thinking, oh, I'm in so much pain. Really? I'm in this much pain. It's like 1 inch of my body, and everything else is fine, but I don't notice all of that because of the pain. And we have that pain factor kick in sometimes. We notice the misbehavior and we pay attention to it. So one way to correct that is to start becoming a radar for good behavior. Okay, you're looking for it. You're trying to catch them doing the things that you want them to do, doing the things that are appropriate, the things that you approve of, and give them some positive feedback about that.
Again, we're just trying to bring back, let them know that what they do does matter.
And then your consequences become more effective too. They will care about those consequences when they have something to compare it to. Back to the topic really soon. Before we do that, you've got 5 seconds to click on that subscribe button to become a more positive parent. 4, 3, 2, 1. Related to what we've already brought up, so there's different possibilities of why your kids are giving you the message that they don't care about the consequences. One of the possibilities is that they don't believe you. They simply don't believe you. Vicki, you kind of referred to this earlier.
Right.
This has to do with our consistency. And think about this for a moment. There are two kinds of machines that can illustrate different styles of parenting. Slot machine. All right? We went on a trip to Las Vegas. You can't go anywhere in Las Vegas without seeing slot machines, right?
Right.
And people are feeding their money or swiping their card or whatever and playing these slot machines. And what typically happens when they play the slot machine?
Nothing.
Nothing. So what do?
They do it again.
Right.
Nothing.
Do it again. Still nothing. But every once in a while, it pays off. Mm-hmm. Right? Ching, 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 ching. And everybody's like, whoa, what's going on? They actually pump sound into those casinos of that happening to keep you playing. But that's another video. So the slot machine pays off sometimes, but not every time. And people will play that forever. What about a vending machine? You put your money in the vending machine, push the button, what happens?
You get your drink.
Right. You get your drink or your pastry or whatever it is that you paid for. It comes out. What if it doesn't?
You don't put another quarter in.
Right. You don't keep feeding the vending machine money. You go complain to the management.
Yeah. Oh, this must be broke. Have another $1.
I tell you what.
You're going to take care of it, right?
If you complain to the management of the casino that the slot machine didn't pay off, they'll be like, what do you think this is? Right? But a vending machine, you expect it to pay off every time. And if it doesn't, you know something's wrong. And you don't keep playing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids keep playing their parents because of the inconsistency. Mm-hmm. What we want to do is turn from a slot machine into a vending machine.
And really what we're asking you to do in your parenting style is be willing to look at your own parenting style. Be curious. My kid doesn't seem to care about the consequence. And be curious, is that something going on with him or could it be something going on with my parenting?
There's a lot of possibilities of what might be going on. I saved this last possibility for last because I want to have a serious conversation for a minute about something else that could be happening. Now, the others are probably more likely. So consider those three possibilities. The other possibility is that your child is dealing with some depression. And I'm using that as a clinical term right now. As a clinical psychologist, I know that depression sometimes takes away your interest in things that you normally would be interested in. It's not always sadness, okay? And for kids, a lot of times it's more related to irritability or sometimes behavioral issues than it is to the way we typically would think about depression. It gets into their thinking and it can affect how they respond to your consequences.
If you have an inkling that this could be what's going on, look at the rest of their life too. Are they showing some apathy about activities that they have generally enjoyed doing? Have they stopped wanting to engage in those activities or hang out with those people that they used to find joy with?
And that's my experience too, Vicki. I think it's not limited to, my kid doesn't care about the consequences I'm bringing up. You're going to see a decline in school performance. You're going to see them withdrawing from some of their regular social connections. Like you said, other activities that they're normally engaged in. So take a step back and look at the bigger picture, and that's going to give you some clues as to which of these possibilities might be the most likely for your child. If you begin to suspect or you have some clear indicators that it's this last possibility, that there's some depression going on, jump on that. There are professionals in most communities. You look around your community, there are psychologists and social workers and therapists and counselors and coaches that can help you to help your child. Don't hesitate to access those professional services if it's needed. That could go a long way toward helping with this and other concerns that are coming up for your kid. all of this talk about consequences and how it relates to our kids might have you wanting some more information about that. We've got 5 powerful secrets for teaching kids responsibility. That video is up next. Go watch that one and we'll take you another step forward.